Welcome back, Creek fam. So I ended up getting a VS410. It does look like a TRX. I made the VX410 high trail. So I took out the suspension and the clipless parts and stuff like that, and I kind of just want to go over it, how I did that. The reason for getting a VS410, I've never had one. I really wanted to get one, and Carly, she needed a new set of axles and a new transmission, and I just figured, why not try the VS410. I ended up getting it off of a Facebook page over here. It's a Vanquish products buy and sell trade. I ended up used. I ended up getting that new used, so that worked out. So on the truck here, obviously I got the high trail system set up. These tires, I just want to let you know that these tires are absolutely massive. They're like 5.88s, two twos, but 5.88 tall. Absolutely massive. I might not recommend the height, but the tread of these tires, these Mickey Thompsons, are absolutely awesome. They do so good. I think they're really meant for a like Capra or something, an axle Capra. So the truck sits about the same height. It is the trx4. So previously I already had to cut the fenders out a little bit here, and on the trx4 I had to push the bumper a little bit forward. But on this truck I had to actually push it as far back as possible. So when we get full articulation and then turning a little bit, it does rub on the bumper. Like right here, I'm probably not going to be able to replicate it, but like absolutely full articulation, we're going to be rubbing on that bumper just a little bit, though. I could deal with that. That's it for the front. On the back, though, I'm not going to be running a bumper. I actually kind of like the way it looks, and I feel like we'll get more climbing angle on that there. And I have the window cut for so we don't get air bubbles when we go underwater. So definitely, it's like a must over here. These bodies just fill up with so much water, and then they end up like kind of floating in a way. So figure I'd cut that, and I might cut the front windows here shortly, though. I'm not too sure what we're going to do there. I definitely need to cut the front windows on my son's truck. So let me talk about how we have the clipless setup here, just in case you might want to do a clipless setup for your Vanquish. Alright, so this is the setup here. Hold on. Alright, this is what we got going on. So all the electronics except for the controller came from the trx4. I do have all the gears and or the axles and the transmission all waterproofed up, including the receiver. And so yeah, Reefs 422. So we'll start with the front. The fenders, pretty simple actually. You just find the groove that it'll kind of sit in. This right here probably could be trimmed up, but that's up to you. I felt like it wasn't really that necessary, and you're gonna have to lose the support brace there. Now on the suspension, or well, on the mounting. So on the mounting here, I just had to drill a hole right there and then put a screw through that, drill a hole through the steel on there, and that will get you the fronts on. That's all you have to do, is literally drill one hole in there. I forgot to mention too, to get the bumper on, you're just gonna have to round out the plastic bumper pegs on there. To get these side steps on, or rock guards, you have to just drill a hole right here just get it as close to the side as you can, and then you also have to notch out the battery tray. There's like a little there's an extended piece of plastic out there that you have to notch out. I just did that with a razor blade. I am running 2 twisters. These are RC 4-wheel drive, some twisters. I got them for a decent deal on eBay. Figured I'd pick up, they were it was a dual pack, so I figured I'd just pick those up for the VSD Twin, which I'm excited to test out. So on the rear, we have I believe I just had to, yeah, I just had to drill this one out right here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I had to do, yeah, I just had to drill the most forward one right there. You know, you just line it up with the rear hole and then drill out that, put a screw in there. Obviously, same deal with the other side, and you could keep your brace on this truck here. For the links, and drive shaft, stock drive shafts from the VS410 kit, which I'm excited to keep those. The other one, my TRX4, were quite rusty. So I believe the rear links on the the rear links on the VS410, I think they have to come up here. I believe that these were the rear uppers, if I'm not mistaken. So had to put those there, and I can't remember what link that was to, but you just kind of have to play around with it a little bit. And the links from the TRX, all the links, I had to take those and put those on the VS410 there. And you also have to do a little bit of playing around with the front here. This is obviously the VS410 turning buckle, I think that's what you want to call it. And then just play around with some of these. See, if you can tell, this is the TRX4 eyelet that I had to use. Actually, these are both the TRX4 eyelets on the VS410 link that I had to use there. And then I had to extend this TRX4 out a little bit, this particular one, for the steering on there. And that's it, pretty much. And then you can make this thing a high trail. Actually, surprisingly easy. I was not really expecting it to go on this easy. So for the actual body, stock one has been fine. That one, you don't have to change up anything there. What I had to do here was just move this bracket up just a little bit, just get it to past that screw hole, and then just drill a hole right here, literally through the middle, and it'll be clipless. There we go. And the everything seems to line up, as far as I can tell. Everything's lining up pretty good. I have the links pretty much dialed in to my liking. You just kind of have to play with that a little bit, though. I have not driven this yet. I'm really excited to sink it, so definitely stay tuned for that, because it's going to be going underwater. That's what we do around here. So for all the TRX4 people out there, if you don't want to spend the money and get a whole chassis kit, and you don't need the overdrive or the dig feature, I highly suggest just doing the axles, at least bare minimum, on your TRX4. I think it'll make a world of a difference on here. I can already tell it's just going to be way better. The axles on the TRX4 are just extremely bulky, and they do not look this good. And you get these awesome lead weights in here. I mean, this chassis weighs a ton already, so it seems like it's going to be solid planted, and it's going to do really good in the trail. I really like that. So that's going to be cool to see. And I'll just get a little shot. Here's a little shot of the rear here, and it's so cool. They give you this little like tool for the filler cap. I definitely understand the hype with the Vanquish, and this probably won't be my last truck from them, that's for sure. I really like their stuff so far. But that's Carly's TRX, well, sorry. That's Carly's Vanquish now, with a sweet Chevy body. I would like to get her a new one, but obviously those things cost money, so we're not going to be doing that right now. But yeah, I really don't plan on doing any other mods to this particular truck. It is actually really good as it is, and she doesn't really care about like scale and stuff like that, so we're just going to be leaving the Lexan body on, and I'm not going to be messing with the bumpers or anything. The rims and tires, I mean, the only reason why I've got these rims is because they're brass, and she likes the rainbows. So that's why we're going to be running the this color this color scheme here. All right, yeah. I think that's about it. Oh yeah. The only other thing I have to do is just put a light kit in there. I just got like a little $7 light kit. I'm just gonna put that in there and call it a day. But yeah, this truck's done. I'm super excited to test this out in a future video. I'm gonna be taking it in the creek, definitely going underwater. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see y'all in the creek. Peace.